Hey, everybody out there, welcome back to the NBA Legends Modern Era Showdown. Let's get right into it without wasting any time here. We got a good legendary matchup for you guys today with the Chicago Bad Boys taking on the Houston Dream. 1985, Isiah Thomas and his team taking on 1994 vintage Hakeem Olajuwon. Now, the story with these two teams is they're coming off devastating losses in their last game, but they're at two different opposite ends of the spectrum. As we can see here, the Bad Boys are playing for playoff positioning just like Team Dream, but their situation is totally different as they are playing for not just the number one record in the Eastern Conference, but the NBA all the way, all out. As you can see here on the left-hand side, the Bad Boys, the Globetrotters with Wilt Chamberlain from 1962, Team Jordan with 1991 Michael Jordan, and atop them all, 1986 Larry Bird, Team Larry Bird, are all basically in a four-way battle for the number one record in the Eastern Conference and the NBA outright. Now, keep in mind, out west as well, Showtime at the top up there is competing for the number one record in the NBA now as they're on a crazy streak. That's another story. Here with Team Dream and their situation, they're sitting down there at the number 5 spot in danger of dropping to the number 6 spot. Now, it's not in danger anytime soon, but if they were to lose this game, the point is they're trying to compete for the number 3 spot with the Mambas and the Jays. Maybe in the outside chance catch Team Diesel, but I don't see that happening because that game spread's just too far. The way that these teams win games, nobody goes on 3, 4, 5, 6 game losing streaks. Right now, the Dream need to stay within at least a game or at least a game and a half of the Mambas and the Jays to compete for that number 3 spot. The reason being, the number 5 spot guarantees you almost that you're going to be playing a legend team in the first round. And that's going to be a vicious undertaking, to say the least, if you can win it, because you would have to do it without home court advantage. So even if you were to win it, you would have been so frustrated, you would have been so stretched for the second round because the upper echelon teams will more than likely be playing modern era teams. For instance, if we look here, if the playoffs started today, it would be Showtime and the Timberwolves. It would be the Diesel and the Clippers, and then the Jays would take on the Warriors, meaning the Mambas and the Dream would be facing each other in the first round. That's provided they could get out of the play-in tournament at the bottom, but that's neither here nor there for the upper echelon teams. We're focusing on the Dream right now. For Isiah Thomas, these in a similar situation, but as you can see, the game spreads are so thin. I mean, there is no game spread. They're basically a half game behind the Trotters, and everybody else is gridlocked up there. Now, there are tiebreakers up there as Team Larry Bird has beaten Team Jordan, which is why they have the same record, but gets the nod over Team Jordan for the best record because they've beaten them twice. Team Chamberlain, however, has lost to Team Jordan, which is why Team Jordan presides over them. Now, Team Larry Bird has not beaten the Bad Boys yet, but their record is slightly better because they have a one less game lost in them, so they get the nod over them. Meanwhile, Team Kareem is pulling up the rear right there at that number 5 spot where they don't want to be, and they're 2 games behind first place. They got a lot of work to do. But with that being said, that's a quick synopsis of what the scenario is. Both of these teams have lost their last game. The Houston Dream were upset by Philadelphia 76ers in their last game by Tyrese Maxey coming in. Let's take a quick look at that performance by him as Maxey came in and put in a heck of a performance with 36 points and 8 assists. And B kept chipping in with 16 points and 19 rebounds. Olajuwon played magnificently, but it just was not enough as he put in 32 points, 25 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal, but just did not get the help from the others that he needed to overcut that loss. So, and obviously the Bad Boys in their last game, they had a legendary matchup. They're really going through it because in the last 3 games, they faced Shaquille O'Neal. They beat Shaq, but then they faced Jordan in another matchup where they lost to Team Jordan yet again. So the Bad Boys will not be able to tie that tiebreaker with Team Jordan because they've already lost to Jordan, I believe, 3 times now. Once was an overtime game here, absolute classic. This was just a complete dismantling right here. The game wasn't even close there. And this was another barn burner game where Team Jordan pulled away in the fourth quarter with Michael Jordan really not being the spearhead behind it. As you can see here, the Team Jordan scored 125 points and Michael only had 26 of it. However, he had 7 steals and 8 assists and 6 rebounds, showing his all-around ability, getting his teammates involved, with McDaniels taking center stage of that. So, with that, that brings us to tonight's game, where we have the Bad Boys and the Dream both needing a win for different reasons. One, the Bad Boys want to stay up for that number 1 spot, and the Dream are trying to avoid falling any lower than they already have. So without any further ado, guys, let's jump into this one. A must-win game for both of these teams for different reasons. Who's going to prevail? Will it be Olajuwon or will it be Zeke? Sit back and enjoy, guys. I will see you on the flip side.
Greetings and best wishes for a happy holiday season from all of us at 2K Sports as we get set for this NBA presentation. And tonight, it'll be Houston going up against Chicago. I'm Kevin Harlan, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg joining me courtside with our sideline reporter, Allie Laforce. And checking out some numbers for Hakeem Olajuwon.
The most positive thing about his last 10 games, the work on defense. His mindset has become very aggressive. The steals are up, and he's becoming a big factor on the defensive end.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Hartenstein is out there with Williamson. Then it's Thomas. Then it's Brook Lopez. And it's Larson in at the 2 spot. And for Houston, they've got Olajuwon. Nickeil Alexander-Walker out there with Murray. Then it's Dosunmu, and it's Williams at the 4 slot. And although it's still early in the season, Greg, what kinds of storylines have caught your attention so far?
How the All-Star voting is shaping up. All-Star appearances are mentioned on a player's resume, especially when they retire. So these guys want to be one as many times as possible.
And so it's Williamson with it. He brings it up for Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, in that one, you really saw a difference in aggression between the two teams, particularly on the board.
You know, I think that was the big difference in the game. One team was pounding the glass relentlessly, while the other team, not so much.
2 on the clock. Hartenstein can't get it to go. And now, Allie Laforce has something for us from the sideline.
I did get a chance to speak with Houston's head coach. In terms of his team's scouting report, Zion Williamson is at the top of it. He raved about Zion's blend of skill and strength, telling me, I don't think there's a stronger guy in our league. Plus, he can put it on the deck and finish at an elite level. Zion is like a freight train coming right down the lane. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Allie, thank you so much for that. Here is Olajuwon. Following the 3-point basket by Chicago. Over Hartenstein. Nice spin off the left rim and in.
And that's the rub. I mean, as good as Olajuwon is on the blocks, he can be equally as effective from mid-range.
It's Thomas on the wing. He's covered by Murray. Here's Williamson. Williams with the block. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Olajuwon.
And that's where Lopez specializes. A great rim protector is he.
Pass to Larson. And here is Thomas. Hartenstein with the screen on Murray. Here's Hartenstein. A second chance effort. Doesn't go that time. Williams with the defensive effort.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
When Williams is knocking down jump shots, that is found money for this offense.
Now, here's Thomas. He's averaging almost 31 points a game right now, an extraordinary figure for any player to post. Williams with the block. Oh, and Olajuwon throws it down.
Here he comes, and there he goes.
Oh, look at him punish that rim.
Boy, the guys on the bench loving every minute of that one.
Here is Thomas. And Lopez has it in the corner. And he's good on the 3 ball.
And a nice job from Lopez to catch and shoot in a fluid motion. And for a guy as big as he is, that's really impressive.
And here is Murray. He's been putting up the points on a very steady basis, averaging around 17.5 points a game. Thomas with it, guarded by Murray. Thomas against Murray. Hartenstein with the screen for Thomas. To the inside. And the dunk by Hartenstein.
Just a smooth, clever playmaker. Isiah keeping his teammates involved here.
Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. A shot by Alexander Walker, no good. Williamson, the pass to Larson. The kick out to Lopez. Hakeem Olajuwon with the rebound.
I guess even he has missed one of those once in a while.
Got that one up quick.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
And it's Hartenstein in the corner. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Thomas passes to Hartenstein. Drives to the hoop. And the dunk by Hartenstein.
And I've been impressed with the unselfishness, but also getting guys the ball where they can do something with it.
He is delivering a lot of room service times tonight. One sweet one after another.
Chicago trailing here. Here's Thomas. Olajuwon against Lopez. Williamson right side. Williamson double team. Williams knocks it loose.
And a moment now to check out the numbers for Murray. He's putting up about 17 points, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds. The real story, though, is how big of an impact he makes on the defensive end.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a lockdown guy for him, both on the ball and when helping out.
Jones checked in for Chicago. Now, Alexander Walker hasn't made one yet. Williams dishes to Olajuwon. It's stolen by Jones. To the left side wing. Pass to Williamson. Olajuwon with the block.
Boy, Olajuwon is a ferocious defender and rim protector. Really excels at slapping shots away.
Unloads from 13. Larson with the rebound.
He will not be happy with himself. Got a good look from mid-range there.
Here's Murray up on top. Here's Williams. That's in there. Murray with the assist.
That's what Williams does the majority of his work offensively.
Chicago trails by 3. Here's Larson. 12 points his last outing. Here's Thomas. Williams with the block. Alexander Walker passes to Olajuwon. Yep, it counts. 6 points for Hakeem Olajuwon. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game. How it's been going for Houston.
They're contesting shots and have also come up with some significant blocks, putting a little doubt into the minds of the opposing shooter.
But how about their scoring in transition as well? That's been a big factor to this point. Are those high tops or track shoes these guys are wearing? My goodness.
Chicago making a switch here. Edey's checked in. Pass to Larson. Here's Edey. He's defended by Olajuwon. 6 on the shot clock. Williamson. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket. Houston leading by 5. Murray outside. Stolen by Thomas. Pass to Larson. No one near Williamson as he lets it go. Edey gets the bucket.
Boy, his activity on the glass so valuable to this team.
And so it's Murray with it. He brings it up for Houston. Coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, they had their chances, competed deep into that game, but had a few lulls there that just kind of took them down.
And, you know, those are the kind of games that sting and that bad taste lingers. Knowing you were in it, but not coming through down the stretch, those are hard to get over sometimes.
Now here's Thomas. Following the miss by Hakeem. Inside. Here's Edey. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Thomas got 5 assists in the game. Houston's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Now here's Williams. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Jones looking for an opening. Edie can't hit. For Houston, they've gone 7 of 13, just over 50% from the floor. Some good looks. Outside, Jones. Pass to Edie. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. Here's Olajuwon. Good. Score the basket. Mark him 4 for 8, shooting 50% so far.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Down low, here's Thomas. After 2 misses to start the game, he's on the board with that shot made.
Even though he's a smaller guard, Thomas is not afraid of attacking inside. Really good work there.
Murray, the pass to Williams. It's sent back by Edie. Pass to Alexander Walker. Thomas kicks to Williamson. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Good work there as it goes. And Chicago leads by 1. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Chicago.
Well, you know, they've been aggressive on the defensive end, and it's paying off for them. Quite a few takeaways for them in the early going.
And the other thing, I love how they're playing up tonight, getting into ball handlers and forcing some turnovers.
Here's Larson. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. And DeJounte Murray gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Houston with a big group substitution here. Kelly Olynyk checked in for Mark Williams. Najee Marshall comes in for Dosunmu. Hawkins checked in for Alexander Walker. And it's Fred VanVleet in for DeJounte Murray. And so it's Houston with it, following the three-point basket by Chicago. Pass to Hawkins, looking to end the run. And it's Chicago with the rebound. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Houston this season.
And in their key matchups last season, they came up empty both times. Not really too shocking when you see how they fared overall.
Exactly. I mean, when you lose as much as they did last year, you'll get beat by teams that aren't playoff powers for sure.
And so it's Houston with it, after Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago.
And really the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
Now here's Dinwiddie. 1:05 left in the first quarter of the game. Great positioning on the putback.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Here's VanVleet. No scoring in this one. Outside, Olajuwon. Marshall finds Olajuwon. The 10-footer. That's no good. He's shooting 5 of 10 for the night. Here's Chicago. They're on a 15-4 run. Dinwiddie, and he finishes nicely on the layup. And now it's an 8-point Chicago lead.
And that quick first step of Dinwiddie, very dangerous once he gets a foot advantage on the D.
Here's VanVleet. And the first shot of the night for him, no good. Chicago has gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. And now the pass break. Olajuwon with the ball.
How about that? Flying high to send that one down. And you know what? When you've got the athleticism and explosion of a player like that, bigger guys are still at your mercy.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. And that one falls for Olajuwon. Fires from way outside. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. It's Chicago as they end the first quarter with a tremendous 17-7 run. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
Well, you can see these guys are unafraid to take chances defensively.
Well, you know, the defense, guys, is just disruptive, active, and energetic, and you can't afford to be loose with the ball against these guys.
Robinson is out there with Olenek. Then it's Najee Marshall. Then it's Fred VanVleet. And it's Hawkins in at the shooting guard position. That's the 5 for Houston right now. To the paint. Williamson, the pass to Christie. Edey with a screen on VanVleet. Here's Dinwiddie to the middle. And the dunk by Edey.
Exactly what you've come to expect from Dinwiddie, a true combo guard who'll spread it around for you.
VanVleet outside. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Hawkins. And then Robinson slams it in.
Hey, they don't call him Robinson for nothing now. Look at the hops on the big fella.
Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Thank you. Zion Williamson is one of the most gifted athletes this game has ever seen, but now he's taken his commitment to conditioning to another level. He said, I definitely see the difference. I'm feeling like I don't exert as much energy to get to a certain speed. My movements are swifter. Kevin?
A scary thought. Okay, Allie, thanks.
Defensively, you've got to apply more pressure to a shooter of his caliber.
And for a guy who handles the ball so much, Fred VanVleet really takes care of the ball. He rarely turns it over.
Yeah, Freddie is steady, boy. I tell you, man, he is a guy who really squeezes that orange. You can trust him to push the pace and play slow and take care of it no matter what the circumstance is. I mean, his leadership, his clutch production, that guy is a coach's dream.
Houston making some changes. Mark Williams is checked in for Olenek. Dosumu comes in for Marshall. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker in for Hawkins. They get the rebound. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Back 80 picks one up.
Boy, the size of Robinson is tough to get out and guard. I mean, he knows that and drew the defender in tight.
That one is off. Clark, one thing about Mitchell Robinson, he has got great rim protection, rebounding, and a nice sense on the floor of what to do.
Yeah, he's a big guy that really wreaks havoc on the glass. I mean, his size, jumping ability, and timing, along with his nose for the ball, forget about trying to keep him off the glass. He's getting offensive rebounds, and he's an excellent finisher, rolling out of picks for the lob.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Williams, that's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field.
And they've repeatedly broke inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And Williamson throws it down.
And this is what we came to see, right? Go ahead, Zion. Do your thing on the alley-oop.
VanVleet finds Dosumu. He gets it in there.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Dinwiddie for 3. It's rebounded by Houston. Williams has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. At the tip. VanVleet up top. Williams a screen on Dinwiddie. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And Greg, everyone talks about the importance of basketball IQ. Can you win in the NBA with a low IQ team?
Boy, it would be tough. I mean, there's a reason younger teams typically don't win at the highest level. But you need to take those lumps and get that experience and learn from those lessons.
Isiah Thomas checked in for Spencer Dinwiddie. Here's Thomas. Robinson pulls it in. Houston trails by 5. VanVleet looking around. On the wing, Dosumu. Pass to Williams. Edey with the rebound. Edie's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Chris Robinson with the block.
We know Robinson is an elite rim protector. So, yeah, you might want to try that move on somebody else.
Outside, Jones. Pass to Christie. And Thomas now, top of the key. Clock at 6. Shoots over Van Vliet. Offensive rebound. Oh!
Oh, man.
I'll tell you, Zion can do that all night. Terrific offensive rebound.
On the wing, Dosunmu. Off target with his 3. Chicago leading by 7. Christie with it. He's got 6. Williams with the steal. Van Vliet kicks to Williams. Lays it up and banks it in. Williams has got 4 points in the quarter.
Occasionally, it seems as though Williams prefers to score through contact. Just to show the defense he's up for the challenge and not going to be denied.
Now, here's Thomas. He's coming off a 31-point game against
And equally spent as much energy on his D. I mean, 4 steals kind of tell the story.
Here's Van Vliet. Zion Williamson making his last shot. Nice move. And the shot is good. The Chicago lead has been cut down to 5 on the bucket from Williams. And so Thomas will bring it up for Chicago. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
This is what they were hoping to get from him tonight. Solid performance.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Catching up on the changes for Houston. Olajuwon's checked in for Robinson. Alexander Walker comes in for Hawkins. And it's DeJounte Murray in for Fred Van Vliet. Now, here's Olajuwon. 13 points in the game. And then Olajuwon with the dunk.
Boy, it's been attack after attack from Hakeem in this one. He's not giving the defense any breaks.
Thomas with it. Out guarded by Murray. Down low. Here's Williamson. It's rebounded by Houston. Williams has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Murray. Pass to Olajuwon. And it's Olajuwon with the jam.
Hey, best of luck trying to slow Hakeem down. Going up for a full-strength power jam.
And he's going up for the alley-oop. Ball stolen. Murray finds Olajuwon. Yep, that one goes in there. Now just a 2-point Chicago lead.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Showing no signs of slowing or cooling down. They're going to ride him as far as he can take him.
Now, here's Thomas. Williamson in the post. Working on Williams. Williams with the block.
But that's 7'7" wingspan and how quickly he's able to pogo stick off the floor. Williams has all the makings of a premier shot blocker.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
And maybe cause some foul trouble along the way as well. And we know what that can do. It pays off typically in good fashion for you.
Houston making some changes. Najee Marshall, he's checked in for Dosunmu. And Hawkins subbed in for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Chicago also making some changes. Brook Lopez is checked in for Edie. And it's Max Christie in for Zion Williamson. Here's Christie. He's got 6. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. 5 on the clock. Lopez sets a screen for Thomas from outside the arc. Offensive rebound.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
Yeah, tit for tat on the glass. Just one more aspect of what's been a very closely contested ball game here.
And Murray looking comfortable in this offense, including understanding when to look for his.
Pass Pass to Hawkins. Olajuwon on the wing. Outside for Murray. Here's Williams. That one is good again. He was 6 straight from the floor with the basket.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Chicago calls timeout. Hakeem Olajuwon with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And he has absolutely worn them out in the paint. They need to come up with a plan to limit his touches in the interior.
Hartenstein's checked in for Vanderbilt. Pass to Hartenstein. Thomas against Murray. Here's Larson. 6 to shoot. Chicago needs to get off a shot here. Hartenstein can't get it to go.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Here's Olajuwon. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
Hey, even guys at his skill level will miss those from time to time. But it doesn't happen often.
And at Ken, no good by Chicago.
He has not been at his most efficient this quarter.
Going inside.
Oh, boy. Coming in hot. Olajuwon with the emphatic jam.
Chicago trails by 5. Pass to Lopez. Here's Larson. They can use a bucket. Rebound by Marshall.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
You know, guys, no denying it's been a rough patch here. I think they've got to run whatever is best in their playbook to get a good shot.
Murray, no good.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Christie kicks to Thomas.
2 minutes.
Hartenstein with a screen on Murray. 5 to shoot. Count it. Good. And it's 6 points for Isiah Hartenstein.
Boy, he's so crafty, Isiah Thomas, and really unselfish. A pass-first point guard who knows exactly when one of his guys is open and how to get it to him.
Now, here's Marshall. Scoreless thus far. Here's Olajuwon. No good. Shot missing. Great D that time from Hartenstein. For longtime veteran Brook Lopez, his evolution, Clark, as a player goes beyond his three-point shooting.
Yeah, I agree with you because folks tend to forget his defense was considered a weakness early in his career. Now he's turned into one of the best shot blockers and rim protectors in the league.
Now here's Murray. Following the miss by Hakeem, Murray dishes to Olajuwon. Marshall finds Murray. Olajuwon. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation. So they'll turn it over. Houston making some changes. Olynyk comes in for Olajuwon. And Shepard subbed in for Hawkins. And Chicago also making a switch. Jones checked in for Christie. Outside, Jones. Here's Larson. And at 10, no good by Chicago. Houston leading by 3. Murray surveying the D. There's 14 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Just 4 to shoot. Olynyk has the open look. That's in there. Murray with the assist. Olynyk's got the lead up to 6 now for Houston. It's Thomas outside. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And that does it for the first half of play. Houston leads by 6. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit.
Hello, folks. The first half is in the books, and we've got a lead on the scoreboard for Houston.
They're hitting at a high clip. Some shots have been wide open, some tightly contested.
And as the ball continued to fall through the net, you could see their confidence growing. And time for a look here at how the West is shaping up as we continue to work our way through this season.
Well, I think for Houston,
must-win game for the Dream if they want to stay competitive with the Mambas and the Giants. We covered that in the pregame show. You can see it right there. When they lose this game, they'll fall down to 7 games behind first place and 2 games behind third spot, and it's going to be hard to recover that. For the bad boys, they're just trying to stay up there with the top dogs in the Eastern Conference. But we got a Donnybrook going on here, 6-point game, man. It has been physical. The battle of the big men inside, that's been the story. Olajuwon, Williams, Robinson going up against the bigs of Brooks, Edie, and Zion Williamson up front, or Isiah Thomas running it all. However, Isaiah's scoring hasn't been a key thing yet. We'll see what happens here in the second half. You're noticing that Olajuwon's getting most of his points in transition. They're taking his post-up a game away with the bigs, from the bad boys. His back-to-the-basket game hasn't really been effective. But he's doing it from the face-up and transition. All right, third quarter, let's go.
6-point game. So for Chicago right now, they've got Zion Williamson. Hartenstein is out there with Brook Lopez. Then there's Thomas, and it's Larson in at shooting guard. Now here's Murray. Isiah Thomas missing his last shot. Over in the corner, Olajuwon. And so the ball goes out of bounds. Lopez touched it last.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
And, you know, even though they didn't come up with the steal, that's still a nice defensive play.
Now, here is Olajuwon. Outside for Murray. Shot clock at 5. Shoots from 14. It's rebounded by Hartenstein. Hartenstein's got 4 rebounds in this game. Pass to Thomas. Back to Williamson. Right side, Thomas. Over Murray. Murray with the defensive effort.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Olajuwon, no good.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
And, guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
Hartenstein with it. He's defended by Olajuwon. The wide-open look here for Lopez. And the 3 ball is good. Lopez has got 6.
That cross matchup with Zion playing small forward is causing problems.
From behind the arc. One of the best big men shooters in the league.
Pass to Williams. Murray sets a screen for Williams. Murray finds Olajuwon. Here's Dozier. It's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Two minutes into the second half of play now. It's Thomas on the wing. He's covered by Murray. And Williamson throws it down.
And they're just giving it to Zion and letting him go to work. Not a bad game plan, if you ask me.
Pass to Alexander Walker. Olajuwon on the wing. He's defended by Hartenstein. Alexander Walker. Great D that time from Hartenstein.
Boy, they need to pick it up here now. I mean, they're 0 of 4 coming out of the break.
Now, here's Thomas. Here's Larson. Here's Hartenstein. Uses the glass to finish the layup. 8 points for him.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
As we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Hakeem Olajuwon. That's his first foul. Houston making a switch. Olynyk's checked in. On defense, Houston. The lead is 2. To the inside. Over in the corner, Williamson.
And you know what makes Zion so much fun is that I don't think there's a comp for him. The combination of power and skill, you throw in that he's a lefty, and we've never seen someone like him in the league.
Williams, he's checked in for Kelly Olynyk. And both free throws good for Williamson. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Murray outside. Over in the corner, Dosunmu. And it's off from three-point range. For Chicago, they've gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Outside Thomas. The open look for Williamson. Rebound by Williams.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Murray outside. Oh, and the jam by Williams.
Mark Williams beasting big time above the rim.
And it's Thomas with the ball. He brings it up for Chicago. Since halftime, they've only allowed 5 points. Mr. Williamson. There's another block.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle.
You know what? We're going to put Olajuwon at small forward, and we're going to go extremely big here to match up. This is kind of a gutsy call here. We're going to put Olajuwon at small forward. Bring Hawkins in for some shooting.
And here we go, coach.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. Bad. Jeez Louise. Calling a timeout. They gave me a challenge.
Talking about action around the sideline. This is something.
Should have just did it from the main menu. What a waste of a challenge.
The ruling on the floor is confirmed.
Of course it is.
With the fidelity and angles that we've got access to now. So we just got word from the NBA replay center via the official courtside administrator. And the original call will stand for the out-of-bounds violation.
You know, and some people might argue, hey, we're stopping the game, but this uses up a timeout, so that's technically already a break that could happen, regardless of the call staying the same.
Mitchell Robinson's checked in for Houston. Hawkins comes in for Alexander Walker.
Yeah, the jump shot of Thomas, cash money. Boy, it's nice seeing him knock down that mid-range jumper.
Now here's Murray. For the three. It's hauled in by Thomas. Williamson against Olajuwon. Outside Thomas. Pass to Hartenstein. Shot clock at 6. Here's Williamson. And trying for the go-ahead basket. It doesn't go in. Here's Murray. Banked in off the glass. Murray's got 6.
You know, even against tight defense, Murray has a number of ways he can score inside. He's not the strongest guy there, but he's flexible and creative.
Now, here's Thomas. Pass to Lopez. And against the whistle for the 3-second call.
See, that new lineup is changing now. Now that you've matched up, now that they've matched up with them, now they don't have that post advantage inside. It's like we're going with 3 bigs at the same time to match with the bad boys. I'm going to have to change the alignment here on the substitution pattern because they're going to have to match up. You don't see, remember, this is an Eastern Conference team, so you only see them twice a year. You're not used to them to get a feel for what you got to do. So if this was a finals matchup, you could expect to see his game plan again.
And the Houston Rockets.
You know, some might look ahead at the schedule and start marking off how many wins they'll wind up with, but I think that's a trap. You can't take any nights off in the NBA, and you've got to stay in the moment.
Chicago making a switch here. Jones is checked in. Here's Williams. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. And it's a 4-point Houston lead.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling now.
Thomas passes to Williamson. Back to Thomas. Lopez up top. Some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And again, Chicago. No good. Houston leading by 4. Murray outside. It's Hawkins on the wing. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got 6 assists here tonight.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Oh, I tell you, this lineup is really bothering the bad boys.
Chicago calls timeout.
With Olajuwon small forward with Williams and Mitchell up there counteracting those bigs. It takes away Zion Williamson's effectiveness in the post. So you have to double team.
He's checked in for Chicago. Chance now to check out the NBA's most efficient scorers. Second is Mark Williams.
And just so reliable offensively. It's one thing to find good looks, but you've got to finish when you get them, and he does at a fantastic rate.
Thomas finds Jones. Here's Edey. Here's Williamson. Williams with the block.
Long arm, size, agility, timing. Williams has all the tools necessary to protect that rim and block shots.
Right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Murray outside. Olajuwon on the wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Jones has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And Thomas now, top of the key. Williams with the block. And they're able to recover. Thomas, it's a wide open look. Drains it from 17 feet out. 6 points for Isiah Thomas.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed. Never in a hurry.
Pass to Olajuwon. Olajuwon drawing the double team. Robinson, and the dunk by Robinson.
Robinson loves to hammer it down whenever he gets the chance, and with force.
And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen. And a look at the block shot number over the last few seasons for Brook Lopez.
I'm not surprised that his block averages have fallen off the past few seasons. He's at that point of his career where it's tough to meet the physical demands of this game.
Fred VanVleet is checked in for Houston. Jones against Olajuwon. On the high post. Chicago grabs the miss. Jones has got 6 rebounds now in the game.
He can't get anything to fall, at least not this quarter. Operating in that mid-range area that time. No real shot contest.
And here is VanVleet. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And now let's take a look at the stats for Thomas. Tremendous numbers for him over the last 10 games. 2nd in assists, and he sits in the top 15 in points per game. An absolute powerhouse offensively.
And as you said, #1 in steals this season. He's the sneakiest ball hawk in the league right now. Hide everything you've got because he's coming after you. The first free throw is good.
You know, on the floor, Hakeem just doesn't have a physical advantage. He's also very mentally tough. He brings a lot of focus to his game.
Olenek is checked in for Williams. Chicago trails by 7. Outside Thomas. Goes up on the wing. Bank shot. No good.
They'd love to get more help from him offensively right now.
Poked loose and stolen by Thomas. Inside. Jones, no luck. Houston leading by 7. Van Vliet with it. Isiah Thomas covering. Thomas against Van Vliet. Olajuwon on the wing. Jones in the post. Still yet to score. Christie kicks to Jones. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. With the All-Star game almost near, let's see how the East is shaking out. Taking a look at Chicago.
There you see the bad boys right there. A four-way battle for that #1 spot.
Yeah, but checking out Chicago, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
You know, I thought maybe they'd have it in them to actually join those leaders this season. But you're right, it's still nice work considering where they are.
Dinwiddie is checked in for Chicago. Chicago trails by 7. To the paint. Here's Vanderbilt. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Hakeem Olajuwon.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
Osumu, he's checked in for Houston. He doesn't get the second one. Houston leading by 7. Van Vliet wide open. Chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Pass to Jones to the inside. Stolen by Robinson. Here's Dosunmu. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. Dosunmu's got the lead up to 9 now for Houston. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for Houston.
And they've shown great focus on the defensive end, putting constant pressure on the ball and really disruptive in terms of what they've done defensively.
And I love the fact they kept the pressure on, really pushing that ball, running it up the floor. I love seeing that. A team staying aggressive even when they're playing well.
Now here's Van Vliet. Spencer Dinwiddie missing his last shot. Olynyk can't hit. Outside, Jones. Edey finds Jones. Shoots over Van Vliet. And again, no good by Chicago. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for Houston. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. Pocket 6. Fires for 3. Edey with the rebound. Edey's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Trying to get something going. And the layup by Christie. Christie's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Van Vliet outside. High post try. Robinson. And slams it right down on top of Zach Edey.
A signature slam from the big fella. We've seen a few of those before.
This is his 2nd trip to the free throw line.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, hopefully it's not from lack of effort on his part. But his free throw shooting compared to what he did last year has been terrible.
And we've reached the end of the 3rd. Houston on top. They lead by 9. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the 4th quarter gets underway. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
For me, next to the big-time alley-oops and monster throwdowns, passes like that are probably the next best thing when it comes to sweet-looking NBA highlights.
The 4th quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. And Van Vliet out there with Hawkins. Then it's Luke Cornett. Then it's Mitchell Robinson. And it's Dosunmu in at the 3 spot. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Williamson with the block.
That's Zion's kitchen. 1 cook allowed.
Makes it off the glass. Williamson's got the first points up on the board here in the 4th for Chicago. Houston leading by 7. Now Van Vliet. Hawkins. There's a screen. And there's the block. Just stops. Dinwiddie against Van Vliet. Now Christie. Here's Williamson, and the dunk by Williamson.
Goodness, I mean, we feel those science dunks shake the floor.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Olajuwon checked in for Houston. Alexander Walker comes in for Dosunmu. And Chicago also making a switch. Milton's checked in. Let's check in now with our Allie Lepores, who's got a story for us. Allie?
Hey guys, well, Houston's coach had some advice for the team over that last break. He said, this is who we are. This is the pace. Don't let up. He said it doesn't matter if they go on a run. What matters is how we respond. They plan to respond with a fury, guys.
We appreciate it, Allie. Thank you.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
18 feet out. Olajuwon with the rebound. Olajuwon's got 13 rebounds in the game. Leading. Van Vliet can't get it to go. Chicago trails by 5. Milton the pass to Williamson. Over Olajuwon.
Number 11, Isiah Thomas.
Houston's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Alexander Walker. Olajuwon against Williamson. Now Alexander Walker. Another miss by Houston. Christie against Hawkins. There's Williamson with the 3. Buries it from 3-point range. Williamson's got 7 now in this quarter.
And really, this is the next step for Williamson. If he can add a reliable 3-point shot, oh, man.
Van Vliet outside. Pass to Alexander Walker. And here is Robinson. He's defended by Edey. To end the cold streak. The shot by Hawkins, no good.
And you know what? If you're the defense, you got him right where you want him. Let him keep shooting those threes because he's been brutal in this half.
Thomas, no good. Houston in the lead. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Here's Van Vliet. Second chance shot. Robinson misses. And so it's Williamson who brings up the ball for Chicago. Van Vliet against Thomas. Inside. Stolen by Robinson. Van Vliet with it. Pass to Hawkins. Olajuwon on the wing. 6 on the shot clock. Edey with the rebound. For Chicago, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. And that one's good. Williamson.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And for Houston, they're shooting 41% for the game. Van Vliet passes to Hawkins. Here's Olajuwon, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Olajuwon's got 26.
Olajuwon taking the hit and staying under control. What a powerful finish there.
Thomas passes to Williamson. Now Christie. Floats it up for Williamson. Got a piece of it, and he gets it back to take the lead. Christie can't make it. Houston's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Pass to Olajuwon. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Now it's a 4-point Houston lead.
Size moves. The Dream has got all the tools to score and make you look silly while he's doing it.
Thomas, good.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
You know, they want the ball in his hands here because they trust him to hit all the big shots.
Houston making some changes. Williams, he's checked in for Alexander Walker. And it's DeJounte Murray in for Fred VanVleet. On defense, Chicago. Here in the fourth, they've allowed just 4 points. Williams passes to Olajuwon. Over Williamson. No good off the back of the rim. For Chicago, they've gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far. Pass to Thomas. There's the drive. Over to the wing. Nurkic bounce pass. Clock at 4. From deep three-point land. Robinson pulls it in. Robinson's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Here's Murray. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. And Houston leads by 4.
You know, sometimes the defense isn't expecting Murray to pull up off the dribble. Maybe they should be.
Chicago calls timeout. And during this timeout, I'm sure they'll be hydrating themselves with Gatorade. All the effort out there on the floor. And these timeouts can be such a huge factor in getting a short rest and recharging the battery. Chicago making some changes. Lopez, he's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. And it's Hartenstein in for Vanderbilt. Williamson left side. Hartenstein with the screen on Olajuwon. Williamson, the pass to Hartenstein. Over Williams. Olajuwon with the block. Pass to Hartenstein. And they convert it last on attempt number 3.
Most any coach loves points coming off assists.
Here's Murray. Outside Williams. Now Robinson. And here's Hawkins. Back to Robinson. Looking to get back on track here. And it's Robinson with the jam.
Once that shot goes up, Robinson is doing his work well before that. He wants to get that miss if it happens.
Here's Thomas. And he gets it to go.
Wow, has he flipped the switch at halftime. Much more effective here in the second half.
Here's Murray. He scores his 5th field goal. He's taken 9 shots to get those 5.
Murray's got those rush hour handles, boy. It's so much fun seeing him pull off those tricky moves like this.
Now here's Thomas. The kick out to Lopez. Pass to Larson. Thomas against Murray. Thomas, no good. Houston leading by 4. And here is Murray. Up top Olajuwon. And stolen by Williamson. It counts. And the foul. It's going to be on DeJounte Murray.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
At the line for the away team.
Houston's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0-4 since the start of the final quarter. Pass to Olajuwon. And it's in there. Olajuwon's got 6 points in the quarter.
Making the most of his opportunities. He's been effective down the stretch.
Now Williamson picked off in midair. Now Williams.
That hoop changes the whole complexion of the game. Williams coming through big.
Chicago calls timeout.
Man, this is the defense in this game on both sides. I'm not talking very much. The intensity is just so every play has to be ran perfectly, or it's going to be either blocked or a turnover right now, man. I'll tell you one thing, going to this big lineup has really hurt the bad boys. Their entire offense has been bogged down ever since.
Here's Williamson. Thomas surveying the D. Now Williamson. And the excellent defensive pressure does the job. Things really clicking for him at the offensive end.
They're making good decisions, not wasting these opportunities.
Got it to go off the glass.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of play.
Chicago trails by 7. Thomas. Lopez a screen. Now Williamson. Off the glass.
Some young players tend to defer in big moments. Not Zion.
Olajuwon inside, working on Williamson. Hook it.
Well, that's the goal of pick and roll. Get that separation you need.
Here's Thomas. Williamson a screen on Murray. Thomas. Nice use of the glass on the finish.
Isiah Thomas not a guy to back down from the moment. Great competitive spirit and able to produce in the clutch.
Now Robinson. Olajuwon left side. No good. Chicago trails by 5. Thomas fires. That does not go. And Olajuwon has got the ball here for Houston. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Tries it from 19. Got it to go.
Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
And, you know, until that final buzzer sounds, I mean, you've got to treat every possession like it's crucial.
And here we go. Fast break. Murray's got it. Oh, what a play inside.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. Any hope of a comeback diminished.
He's off from 3. Murray with it. So Houston wins it. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. I think they built off that edge of being here and playing with just a little more confidence.
Well, I'll tell you, that game was a lot. You know, both this game was important for both teams, but it was more important for Team Dream because they needed this. Mark Williams came up big, player of the game. He really carried him in the first half. Olajuwon kind of struggling. The defense on Zion. Man, got collapsed. Oh, man, this was a hell of a basketball game. Defense, a hell of a defensive basketball game. Man, look at that. How many? You had 10 steals and 13 blocks by Team Dream, man. That is, woo! Damn. Dang, that's a lot. That's a lot. 10 steals and 13 blocks. They had 15 offensive rebounds for the bad boys, 13. So, damn, both teams were crashing the glass like crazy. But Team Dream had the 29 points in transition. With the superior athletic big men, both teams struggled from downtown. Neither team shot well from down. They didn't take that many, though. Both these teams are geared more for outside and mid-range play and pick and roll and post and low post and post-ups with their key players. Man, let's take a look here. Hakeem Olajuwon 36 points, 17 rebounds, pretty much what he's averaging. He had 3 steals and 2 blocks, showing his defensive versatility. Mark Williams, though, with 8 blocks, man. That's got to be a career high for him. 20 points, 14 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson came in big with that big lineup. And I tell you, the game was really in doubt until they went to that lineup where the Team Dream put Olajuwon at the small forward position and brought Mitchell Robinson at the center, and then put Olajuwon on Zion to take away the double teams that he was getting. And then all of a sudden, you started to see Zach Edey disappear. You saw Lopez disappear. They were big items in the first part of the game, but once they went to that lineup, they just disappeared. And then Isiah Thomas had his troubles because he was going in there on that big lineup, and all those shot blockers are down there. His penetration was kind of being smothered. He went 14 points. He had 10 assists, but he had 4 turnovers, 7 for 24 from the field. Williamson had a 30-point night, which he should be. They went into him early. Look at his splits here. He had 2 points in the first quarter. He had 10 in the second. The second, that's when they started to go to that new lineup. We had to do something different. Then in the third quarter, he only had 4 points. Then he came up big in the fourth quarter, but most of that was on transition buckets. All of the half-court plays were being shut down. Olajuwon in the fourth quarter with 12 points, 5 rebounds, came up big. It was just a good defensive battle. Let's take a look here at some of the highlights from Olajuwon. That's a block. That's that fade away from the mid-range off that shake. Let's see what he does here. Like he's shadowing Williamson out at the three-point line. No, that's a rebound get. He's going to bring it back up. Find Murray. And Murray finds Hawkins. Then back over to Williams. That was the fourth. That was the play that ended the end of the fourth quarter. Pretty much the whole hum for the highlights. He did a lot more than that, but there you go. That's the story out there in this legendary match. So the Bad Boys losing back-to-back games for the first time really since they lost to Team Jordan, and then they lost to OKC back-to-back. So that's the second time they've lost 2 games in a row this season, I believe, for the Bad Boys. And if we take a look here at the standings, now the Bad Boys fall to 1 game. Now they're still in it, but now they have to make up that game and get back to being stead pat with the Trotters and Team Jordan. So they're still in it, but they have a ways to go. And furthermore, it brings Team Kareem into 1 game of catching them. And you can see there at 25-8, 27-8, Team Kareem is right there in terms of catching the Bad Boys. So, like I said, the Eastern Conference is anything from the number 5 up to the number 1 spot. Anything can happen. For the Western Conference, the Dream, a much-needed victory because now that keeps them back up there with competing with the Jays and the Mambas for the number 3 spot. As you can see, they are now going from having that full 6 game to being 5.5 games back for the number 1 spot ultimately, which means they're only a game and a half from catching the Jays. And a big game for them. So as we progress this forward, let's see what the next matchup's going to be. I believe that's it for today's games. Yes, it is. We're going to move on to the next day. And we got a good one. Oh, my, we got a good one coming. It's going to be Team Dr. J taking on OKC. And then from there, it'll be Team Jordan. Michael going back to Chicago for the first time. Then it'll be Abdul-Jabbar going to Philadelphia. Then Team Dream doesn't get a night off. They got to take on Showtime. Oh, my goodness. If they can find a way to get that game, that'll be huge because that'll help them get a tiebreaker, I believe. We'll take a look at that real quick. You got Shaq taking on Jokic, who just upset Kobe. The Denver Nuggets upset Kobe Bryant's team earlier today. And then, of course, Bird going back to Boston with their 20-game win streak to see if they can continue that on this long road trip that they're on. So a lot of games being played today, but the first of which will be Team Dr. J. And let's get that spotlighted for you. as they will now take on the OKC Thunder at home. Let's get that spotlight. Yep, there it is. There's your matchups. It'll be Chet Holmgren being guarded by Julius Erving and vice versa. However, I don't expect that to play out like that. I fully expect Jalen Williams to get the matchup on Dr. J. I don't think they're going to leave Chet Holmgren on Dr. J. There's just no way. He's going to just Dr. J is scoring 50 points a game in transition, playing power forward. I mean, you can't leave him on Chet Holmgren. That's just he might get 100 points. You know, if you do that. You know. But I digress there. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the standings here for the Jays. They're at 23-10, 4.5 games out for the number one spot. They're not out of it for catching it, but you never know. Anything can happen, especially when you start talking about mutual matchups, because I believe they've already played Team Showtime once. They lost to Showtime here. They lost there. So that's one game they lost to Team Showtime. They lost all three of their games to Team Dream, which was huge for Team Dream. So Team Dream has the tiebreaker advantage over Team Dr. J should they match up with the same record. Now, speaking back to the Showtime matchup, they'll be playing Showtime again sometime long after All-Star break, as a matter of fact. Actually, have they already played their games for the season? I believe they've already played their 2 games. Because they played Las Vegas here. And they lost decisively. And from that point on, they don't see them. They should play them at least twice. They're in the same conference. Usually you play your conference members at least twice. There they go. There, right there. They'll play them again on February 9th. That'll be just before All-Star break. So they'll have to get that game so they can tie that back up with that tiebreaker with them. So that's the situation there going into this game with the Oakland Jays. Let's take a quick look here and see what Dr. J is doing on the season. Dr. J averaging 50 points a game in this series, 12 rebounds a game, about just a little bit over 3 assists, a steal, and a block, shooting 64%. Now you have to understand that these numbers are exploded because he's playing power forward in the modern era in today's game where it's being wide open. Playing against all these either small ball lineups with guys that can't jump with him or bother his shot, or against bigger guys who can't run with him in a wide open court game. That's why his points are so high, because if you know anything about his scoring, his abilities, it's open. He's probably the best. I mean, you take out a young LeBron James, a young Charles Barkley, a young Clyde Drexler. Dr. J is probably the greatest open court player the game has ever seen. Just give him the ball in the open court and let him run. He just produces. You don't have to really call plays for him. He just gets out there and just lets things, just makes things happen. Now you put him in a situation where he's playing power forward up front where he can get out and leak out, as well as get the ball. Like, for instance, he gets a lot of rebounds himself and then just pushes the ball himself. That's why all of his points are pretty much, it's elongated in this era. But enough of that basketball jargon and talk for those who may not be interested in that. Let's get back to what we want to see. That's gameplay. And I will have that game coming for you guys coming up here shortly with the Thunder and the Jays, followed by Team Jordan and the Bulls, Kareem and the Sixers, Team Dream taking on Showtime, and it's going to be a hell of a game. The Nuggets and the Diesel is going to be a hell of a game. Actually, as a matter of fact, the Nuggets actually upset Team Diesel in their last matchup and put them down. And then it'll be Team Bird taking their 20-game winning streak on the road into Boston, where Larry Bird goes back to Boston for the first time. So with that, I will leave this off here on the Thunder and the Jays, and I will see you guys next time here on the NBA Legends Modern Era Ultimate Season Showdown. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave comments of questions, anything. I answer all questions, no matter how, even if they're mean comments. If you ask, like, for instance, I had somebody today make fun of my Kareem Abdul-Jabbar court. I simply answered the question. He simply asked me, what the heck is this court? I just simply told him. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in a movie with Bruce Lee, Game of Death. Maybe you're too young to remember that. Maybe you've never heard of it. But all my courts are themed on each individual player's personality and parts of their career. So for Kareem, I decided to go ahead and do a Bruce Lee, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Mantis motif. Mantis being the character that he played in the movie A Game of Death. So for some people may not understand that, maybe a little weird to you, but hey, that's what Kareem did. Plus, it's kind of hard for Kareem. Kareem's kind of a very, he's kind of bland. Like all the others, so it's kind of hard to find something to make him stand out. You know what I mean? So I just went for the most abstract thing I could find, and I just thought to myself, Game of Death with Bruce Lee. So, but with that being said, guys, I will see you guys next time on the NBA Legends Modern Era Showdown. Thanks for watching, and yeah, hope you had a good time. Peace.